We'll share a little Torah about Tu b'Shvat. I heard an incredible story today. It's not such a gracious story, but it just how it connects back into Tu b'Shvat. Apparently, there's a sefer called Yadayim Achichis by Rabbi Leib Bakst, and he says a story from Rabbi Lezer Yudel Finkel was approached by some bachrim requesting a certain boy be thrown out of yeshiva. Okay, they didn't like a certain bacher; they wanted him to be thrown out of yeshiva. So Rav Lezer Yudel sent a letter to his father of Nosson Tzvi Finkel, the altar of Slobodka, ask him, what should I do? They want to throw a bacher out of yeshiva. Apparently, whatever the story was, I don't know if it was, I could tell you what Heintige Bachrim are doing. I don't know if he was throwing pictures out of windows and breaking Tesla's windshields. I don't know if he was, bringing phones to yeshiva or things like that. I don't know. But whatever the Bacher was doing back in the Mir Europe, and they wanted to throw him out of yeshiva. So the altar of Slobodka wrote back the following.
They went to town over
there. In Europe.
Europe.
Good alcohol. The altar wrote back. He says, I'll give you a raya from Tu b'Shvat that you can't throw the bacher out of yeshiva. What's the raya from Tu b'Shvat? It's a pashut raya. We look outside right now. You all drove over here, and it's snowing. It's dead. There's nothing going on. And what are we sitting here doing? Aside for drinking, singing, enjoying, what are we doing? Well, what's the most simplest explanation of Tu b'Shvat? Rosh Hashanah li'ilanis. This is Rosh Hashanah li'ilanis. Look outside. You barely can see the trees. Okay, not just mine with the dead thing in the middle, but you barely see the trees. And then the snow, there's no growth. It's dead. Someone who, if you were to come down from Mars and you were to come right now and you would see these things that people call trees, you would say, what a waste of space. Get rid of them. What are you doing? That thing in your lawn? Not just mine, that's actually dead. But all those trees everywhere. What are you doing? Someone who is from Mars, you would go, what a waste of space. And you turn to your friend, say, get rid of the tree, throw it out. And what would the guy tell you? Tippish. Come back in a few weeks and you're going to see the snow is going to disappear and the green is going to grow and the trees are going to blossom and it's going to be beautiful, beautiful trees. And someone maybe from out of town, from Mars, would say, that's crazy, it's Meshuggah, you can't, look outside, you can't see it. Says the altar from Slobodka, yes, right now the Bacher, you're right, right now he looks like a dead tree. He looks like a dead tree and you want to dispose of him, just be done with him. But deep within, we have a raya from Tu b'Shvat. We're celebrating now, because what are we celebrating? We're celebrating the beginning, the start, the potential from within. It says the altar, you can't throw the bacher can't throw the bacher out of Tu b'Shvat. Can't throw the bacher out of yeshiva. So with that, it gives us what's a little bit of the avodah of Tu b'Shvat. And as you're sitting here singing, my mind is soaring. I'm in Purim. Right now. This is to me, this is a strict taste of Purim. That's what we're doing here. We're a month before Purim. In yeshivas, that's why do you think we celebrate Tu b'Shvat in yeshiva? Because you start preparing for Purim. Yeah, you start preparing for Purim. That's the reason why we're celebrating. Then you go l'chaim. We're celebrating for Purim. Oh, very good. You remember the Heilige Trufas Van Haggais from Moshe Sternbach. Okay, we'll get there again. So that is the avodah of Tu b'Shvat, and in truth, it sounds so simple. It's almost such a basic idea, elementary. Yeah, the trees are dead and they regrow. Why throw the bacher out of yeshiva? He's going to get better. It sounds so simple. But first of all, now I'm in yeshiva, so I can tell you, it's not so simple at all. When the boy is causing all the problems in the world, and no one could handle him, and everyone wants to dispose of him, it's hard at that moment to actually see there's going to be a tree growing. We could think about our own children, not our own children, of course, they're all perfect, but you think about your neighbor's children and you start thinking, that little rascal, that kid needs a good one of those and a good one of those. And, but we realize, and maybe we're young enough to think back in our mind and say, 1 second, it wasn't so long ago that we were that kid. We were that kid, whether it was the kid in yeshiva, whether it was the kid, running amok, doing who knows what. And hey, listen, I think we survived. I think we survived. So that's really lesson number one of Tu b'Shvat. Lesson number one of Tu b'Shvat is the most simplistic of lessons. But I think if we think about it for a moment, we really could realize that each and every one of us have parts of our own avodas Hashem that are indeed dead. They're dead. If we're honest, which is hard to be honest, but if we're honest and we look deep within our neshama and we look within our daily life, for one person, maybe his davening is dead. What do you mean? I come to shul 3 times a day, maybe even. I put on tefillin. What do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah, are you really connecting? Really? Are you davening? Or are you checking the boxes? You checking the boxes. Sometimes, and you see someone who never davened, and you see them start connecting. Certain Bacher recently came to sit right next to me. At the beginning of the year, I wondered if he knew which way to put the sitter pashut. He wasn't sure what to do. You see that? All of a sudden, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, like the kid's davening. Okay, it's for like 43 seconds a day, but he's davening, and you see that connection. So there's parts within each and every one of us which is dead. And we have to find those parts. Maybe it's learning, and if learning is good, maybe it's musar. And what about chesed? And what about tzedakah? What about bein adam lechaveiroi? What about kedushas basic knesses? What about kedushas ayinayim? What about our own makim mekaymis, our houses, our shechina? What about everything? There are places that unfortunately they're dead. And you know what we do with those dead places? We say, okay, let's just, they're dead. Don't worry about them. There's other nice areas, and we focus. We focus on, oh, what do you mean? I'm thriving in this area, and that's beautiful. But Tu b'Shvat tells us, let's look at that dead area. Let's look at the dead tree and let's find a way to celebrate it. Not just bring it back to life. Celebrate it right now. It's dead. It's dead. The tree is dead. It's nothing. Now is when we celebrate. Because we celebrate the potential and we realize what could become. What could become. And Ramesha Shapiro over here, and with this I'll end. Maybe I'll share one more thought after another song. But Ramesha Shapiro tells us that this is the tefillah. This is the tefillah of Tu b'Shvat. The island before was saying that us in America, we don't really know what Tu b'Shvat is. Maybe it's a song, maybe it's a fruit. We're not really sure what to do. The one thing we know is that there's no tachman, and some people know that the day before Tu b'Shvat is a machlokes if there's tachman. And what's the minhag? The minhag is you fight about it. Yeah, tachlan, no tachlan. They almost did it by right. Yeah, they almost did it. Someone yelled louder and lighter. Yeah. Someone yelled louder and you don't. But what Tu b'Shvat is, I just want to read you a few words of Ramesha Shapiro. He says, tomorrow morning, we're going to daven. What are we davening tomorrow morning? 1 month before Purim, 2 months before Pesach, in the dead of winter, some snow covering our trees. What's the tefillah? The tefillah is, says Ramesha Shapiro over here, it's a lengthy piece. He says, Adam Arishain, we're daimet le'etz to the trees. And he says, Shapa'am Hashem Yisbarach, Meshias Adam. You know why Hashem saves us? B'schus habehema shaloichata, the behema, the lowest part of us, that dead tree. Sometimes that's particularly where Hashem saves us. And he says that the tefillah is to go and take the ilani sruk, to take these branches which have nothing, and that they should once again bear fruit. And he continues that in our dar hashafal, in our low dar, in the place that, people have been at places that no human being ever dreamed one could be. People have seen things that no one ever dreamed is shaykh. What's an eitzah? We need an eitzah. What should we do? Says Ramay Shapiro, shenispalel tefillah kazeh. You know what the tefillah is? Adam ubahema teishia Hashem. And he says, maybe this what David HaMelech means, Panel Tfilas Ha'arar, Kadosh Baruch Hu turns to the Tfilas Ha'arar, to the low and low Tfilah. Hashem turns to the Ilani Yisrak. Hashem turns to the Yidden that are low, that are nothing. And the Eitzah is, in the Dara Achrain, says Ramesha Shapiro, is that we should come, the Adam Eitzah Sada, the Adam is the tree is dead, there's no connection, there's no feeling, there's no life, there's no vitality. And right then, in that tefillah is that we should go and we have to daven at that moment that Hashem should make that tree come back alive. And he says, B'yamim Elu, a startling line, Ruba de Ruba Miklal Yisrael. What's the roiv of Klal Yisrael? Kemo Yilani Srak, dead trees. We're sitting here, Baruch Hashem, we have Torah, we have mitzvahs, we have chesed. Just think, how many Yidden are there? How many Yidden are there? And how many Yidden know even the words that we're talking about? The Roiv is nothing. And even us who have, how many parts of us, unfortunately, are dead. We can't bring out light Torah, of light tefillah, of light mitzvahs. So what should we do? Srichen lehispalel shenizka nachnu hayilani srak, this dead tree, lahaitzi peiros, which is mitzvahs v'maisin tovim. And that's the avodah of Tu b'Shvat. And I think with that simplistic thought and with the tefillah, and we turn to Hashem and we say to Hashem, listen, God, what do you want from us? What do you want? Yes, we realize that we're dead. My this is dead. My that is dead. Sometimes just the recognition that yes, I need to work on this area. I need to work on it. It's time. I gotta be mature. I gotta realize life has meaning to it. I have to finally start learning. I have to finally start davening. You know what, my Shemona Esrei, 62 seconds, it doesn't work anymore. You know what? I have to work at it. I got to get myself a pathway to prayer, and I have to actually learn what the words of Shemona Esrei mean. It's time. I'm a dead tree. I'm dead. I'm done. I'm nothing. You know what? Hashem, help me. And it's the want to want. It's the tefillah to be able to. It's the step before. And I was just thinking, not that I could add into Moshe Shapiro, but my thought was, as we're sitting here a month before Purim, my thought is, in a month's time, we're going to be sitting here, and we're going to be freilich, and we're going to be singing, and we're going to be dancing. And what are we going to be doing? Nichnas yayin and yotza side. The side is going to come out. What's the side? What's the side? The side is what's buried deep, 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 deep. That's tonight. The side is those dead branches inside each and every one of us. And now the tefillah is, Hashem, I have a month. I have a month right now to get those dead branches a little bit of life. I have a month right now, and we all know terrible stories. Unfortunately, people, when they drink and what comes out of them, what's their side? The toilet explodes. It's a bunch embarrassing. It's embarrassing sometimes. You see a person, it's like, oh, I thought he was a normal mensch. I thought he was a upstanding citizen. And nichnas yayin, and yeah, the side came out. And why? Because buried deep within, those branches were dead. So we got to now sit here a month beforehand. We start preparing. How do we prepare? We take those dead branches. We turn to Hashem, and the first tefillah is, Hashem, yes, I have dead branches. And let's be honest, we have many areas of dead branches. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, help me. Just help me. Help me. Find an area. And I would suggest that everyone in their own tefillah find one area that we know is dead. And everyone has areas. I don't think we have to look too far. We have many areas that are dead. But find one area, and it could be a detail of a detail. It could be, I learned, but you know what? Do I really understand? Maybe I'm doing the cursory page flipping thing. I daven. Am I really connecting? I give tzedakah, but am I really giving what I need to give? I do chasadim. I do them with my whole heart. There are so many. Yeah, I'm nice to my spouse. I'm good to my children. Am I really? Maybe it's time before it's too late. Maybe it's time to work on my relationship with my kids. What do you mean? My kids love me. Well, yeah, it's because they're 4. But, it's easy for a 4-year-old to love you. But do you really know what it is to have the relationship? Do we know? Do we work on it? Do we think about it? Or unfortunately, are we going to wait till the kids are growing older? And then the challenges really come. And then we say, oh my, what in the world am I supposed to do? Oh, shoot. And unfortunately, then it's too late. And that's avodas Hashem. That's a shmuz unto itself. That's the biggest avodas Hashem, is building your own shechina, your own Beis Hamikdash. What's your own Beis Hamikdash? Your house. The Kedusha in your house with your Kayahanim and Levim, which is your children, your Makim HaShechina. Maybe that's an area. I don't have to give suggestions. Everyone has their own areas. But Tu b'Shvat, we sit here and we realize and we take notice that yes, it's all dead. But Rosh Hashanah li'ilanis, it's gonna grow again. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, allow it to grow again. Hashem, I want to sit here in a month's time. I want to sit here in a month's time, and I want to drink in a month's time. And we're all gonna do the actions. But you know what I want? I want that when I drink, when the nichnas yayin, I want the soy to be something so beautiful. I want that dead tree has some Torah in it, has some tefillah in it, has a new connection to Hashem in it. I want that when I drink, comes out is the beautiful yid, the yid that wants to help people, the yid that wants to learn more, that wants to daven more. That's what I want. We have Shleishim Yom Kedem Achag. So Mirz Hashem, it's no secret, Rosh Hashanah li'ilanois, that it's all the trees will bloom again because they listen to the command of Hashem. They don't have a choice. Hashem commands the trees, they're going to bloom again. But us, our dead trees, that is our tefillah. Mirz Hashem. We should all daven appropriately. We should all find an area in our life that we could work on. And we could start to say it's time to grow up a little bit. And hopefully, b'siyata d'shmaya, with that little bit of focus. And when we turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when we say, Hashem, look outside, all those trees, you're going to make them all bloom again. And it looks impossible. That alien says, how do you make that tree grow again? Okay, my tree. We're not so sure what's going to happen with my tree. And what should we do with the tree? But the trees are going to grow again. Hashem, you can make me grow again also. There's no one that's beyond the Kadosh Baruch Hu. No one that is lower than low. No area. As soon as a Yid says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I want that tree to grow again, Hashem will give it to Koyach. B'siyata d'shmaya, we should all be zeicha.